College football is back. It's opening weekend here in Ames, Iowa, as North Dakota State comes to town to take on Iowa State. Next on Fox Sports 1. Welcome to the Ford Fox Sports 1 College Football Pregame, sponsored by the Ford F-Series, built for tough. They are all set for football here at Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. To kick off this 2014 season, the Cyclones welcome the North Dakota State Bison to town. And hello everybody, Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire. And Coy, a new season for Iowa State means a new offense, a new offensive coordinator in Mark Mangino, and that's been all the talk here in Ames.
A lot of energy and enthusiasm surrounding the season because of Mark Mangino and his offensive scheme. I would have hated having to play against these guys. They'll spread you out in the pass game, force one-on-one matchups. The run game is confusing for those linebackers. A lot of moving parts. That guy right there, Richardson, he can gun it, but can also run it. Look for him to be a force on the ground as well.
And guess what? He's actually healthy this year, something he hasn't been in a while. As far as North Dakota State is concerned, they're an FCS school, so who are they? Well, they're the three-time national champions. They've won 24 games in a row, and they are not scared of an FBS team.
They're the giant slayers, Justin. You know, you talk about the past 4 seasons, they've beaten an FBS school. They love the underdog role. They embrace it. They believe that they work harder. They believe that they work smarter. And then, by the way, they will go longer, too. Into the fourth quarter, watch these guys will come and hit you in the mouth. Can't wait to watch these guys rock.
The Cyclones take the field as we're all set to play some football here in Ames. Iowa State against North Dakota State to kick off their 2014 seasons next. A sold-out crowd here at Jack Trice Stadium. A beautiful day for football. It's still the morning here, and the temperature, 78 degrees. Conditions, mostly cloudy, but that sun is peeking through. Humidity, 84%. The head coach in his 6th season with the Iowa State Cyclones, the local boy, Paul Rhodes, coming off a 3-9 season, making the change at offensive coordinator. 6 new coaches on his staff. And in his first year as the head coach for the Bison of North Dakota State, it is Chris Kleiman. Spent the last 2 years as a defensive coordinator, taking over this program that has won 3 straight national championships. Ben LeCompte will be kicking off here for North Dakota State. Back deep for Iowa State, Devondrick Neely and Jarvis West. LeCompte, the junior, out of Barrington, Illinois. North Dakota State won the toss. They elected to defer. And we're all set. Devondrick Neely lets this one go into the end zone, a touchback. And here comes the starting quarterback for this Iowa State team, Sam B. Richardson, who won the quarterback competition in camp with Grant Rohach. Richardson, you see what he's done over the course of his career, was a starter last year, but Coy, he fell all the way down to number 3 on the depth chart in the spring, but he won the job back.
He was struggling a little bit in the spring, Justin, and as Coach Mangino said, to his credit, he worked hard, he got refocused, he retooled, and he came back on fire. When they came back to camp, this guy steadily got better each and every practice. Mangino loves what he's seeing out of Richardson now.
Sam B. Richardson, in not even, 5 months, has a better understanding of this offense than he did the previous offense. On first down, Richardson, he's going to run, has plenty of room up the middle, and Richardson slides across the 40 up to the 42. Tackled by Christian Dudzik. A 17-yard pickup.
Now watch this here. You got to have man-to-man coverage on the outside, and they actually doubled the threat tight end Bibbs there on the play. So Richardson took off, saw that the defenders' backs were turned, picked up a big gain on first down.
Aaron Wimberly in the backfield here on first. The handoff is to Wimberly, and Wimberly will get a yard. Eric Mangino in his first year as the offensive coordinator for this Iowa State team. Much has been made about him, what he's done, his offense core. You talked about how deceptive his offense has been throughout the course of his career, and he's got a track record of success.
No doubt about it. He's learned from some good ones too, Justin. Jim Tressel, Bob Stoops, Coach Snyder at Kansas State.
2nd down and 9. Richardson to pass. Completes his first pass. D'Andre Daly with a 7-yard completion. How about the impact players on this side of the ball?
Oh, well, you have quite a few of them. The first one you have to think about is center Tom Farniok. This guy is the heartbeat and central nervous system of a line that returns a lot of experience. Of course, all Big 12 conference contender there. E.J. Bibbs will be a force all day in the pass game.
3rd down and 1. They have to get to the 49. Wimberly, he's got the first down as he piles through all the way to the 44, a 6-yard pickup, and they move the chains.
This is an area here, guys, where last year they only converted 34% of the time on 3rd down. But this new zone scheme is going to create problems for defenders this season. Wimberly's a guy who can get it done running the rock, as well as Devondrick Neely. They're really high on those guys, small in stature, but they bring some thump.
Quentin Bundridge, the star wide receiver for Iowa State, is down along the far sideline. Bundridge, the team's leading receiver last year, with 48 receptions, tied a school record with 9 touchdowns. Not something this Iowa State team wants to see right now. So much hope and so much excitement for this offense coming in. And now their star wide receiver is down early in this first quarter.
We're going to see Bundridge up here in the top of the screen. And one thing Mangino talked about is receivers in his offense have to block. He's given great effort, but that leg kind of buckled a little bit on him. We hope that Bundridge is all right. He's a force for this team.
No score here in the first quarter. Quentin Bundridge was able to walk off the field under his own power. You could see the training staff checking him out right now, looking at that left knee. Last year, what did he do? Led the team with 48 catches, tied a school record with 9 touchdowns. Richardson here on first down, hit the slant to D'Andre Daly, and that will be good enough for a first down.
Iowa State came out in a 2-by-2 set there. He did a great West Coast a little bit of flat slant route. Richardson put the ball right on the money, saw that window open up, and took advantage of it.
On 1st and 10, Wimberly in the backfield. Richardson over the middle, incomplete, was looking for E.J. Bibbs. Carlton Littlejohn on the coverage, the middle linebacker.
Carlton Littlejohn is a guy that these coaches are extremely high on. He's always where he needs to be. He's smart, and as you saw there, covering Bibbs in a isolation route, did a heck of a job manning him up.
2nd down and 10. Richardson, and that's incomplete. Was looking for the freshman, but here comes the flag. Alan Lazard. The referee for today's game is Rich Lumiere. We'll wait to hear the call on this one.
Pass interference, number 20 of the defense. The ball will be placed, spot of the foul. First down.
That's against Colton Hegel, the senior from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Boy, Colton Hegel had his hands full on this one. Alan Lazard is a true freshman, standing 6'5". Hegel did a good job of trying to get a hand on it, but that big body was too much. Couldn't get around it cleanly.
On first down, the handoff to Wimberly, and Wimberly gets wrestled to the ground as he picks up a yard. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Here's Greg Wolf.
All right, Justin, thanks. Let's go to Dublin, Ireland. James Franklin, his Penn State debut, and down 1 to Central Florida with just 3 seconds to go. Senior kicker Sam Ficken delivers from 36 yards out. Long way to go to get that first win. Penn State wins 26-24. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Here we are in Ames, Iowa. The Iowa State Cyclones marching down the opening drive. Play action. Richardson throws to his tight end, E.J. Bibbs, who's able to make the catch about a yard shy of the first down marker. Christian Dudzik on the tackle.
Here's where you're seeing Mark Mangino's offense really start to take form. Fake the run, the zone that they've been hitting you with. Now sneak Bibbs across, back across the field. Tough to handle that big man when he gets that much time to throw.
3rd and 1 here for the Cyclones. 9th play of this opening drive coming up. Hand off to Wimberly. Wimberly inside the end zone, touchdown! A 16-yard touchdown run by Aaron Wimberly. Colin Netton is on here for the extra point. And Cole Netton converts. How about the opening drive for Eric Mangino's offense? Excuse me, for Mark Mangino's offense here for Iowa State.
Watch these big boys open up a hole. Wimberly got to crease, and all he needed was a tiny one. He hit it, he was gone. This is a guy who's as explosive as they come in the Big 12, coming out of the backfield. What an opening drive for Mark Mangino's new offensive scheme here in Iowa State.
Wimberly with his first rushing touchdown of the year, and all the talk throughout this offseason has been about this offense, and everyone's so excited around the Ames area, Des Moines, talking about what's going to happen with this offense. Everything was kept under the wraps. Well, for the opening drive, there's a reason why everyone was excited.
Well, what we saw was a lot of one back, Justin. You're going to spread these defenders out, 2-by-2 formations, sometimes a 3-by-1. But those offensive linemen, they can create a lot of seams with some push in that zone game. He's a small guy. He can hide behind those linemen. All he needs, again, is a crease to get moving. Once he's in the secondary, you've got problems.
Cole Netton will kick off with Christian Dudzik back deep here for North Dakota State. Short kick, Dudzik from the 8. Dudzik has a hole, tries to the outside. Here's a flag as Dudzik gets tackled shy of the 35-yard line up to 34. A flag on the field. Let's see what this will be. A 26-yard return by Christian Dudzik.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 25 of the receiving team. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Chase Morlock gets called for the penalty. It negates that 26-yard return.
You're going to see on your right side of the screen here, on the right side of your screen is where it's going to happen. He's coming down, making a great effort. Dudzik does a good job coming off the backside of this wedge. And that hand in the back is what's going to get you every time. It's unfortunate because Dudzik, a guy who's been cornerback and safety for this team, is also a heck of a returner and had a good one there.
Carson Wentz, the new starting quarterback here for North Dakota State, replaces Brock Jensen, who graduated last year. On first down, he will pass on the first play, completes to his receiver, Zach Fraw, picks up 6.
Well, Carson Wentz, Justin, is a big guy at 6'6", 230 pounds. He's been patiently waiting his turn, chomping at the bit to get his shot at running this offense. He's big, tall, quick release, stands strong in the pocket. Smart guy, too, 4.0 GPA. He knows this system well.
2nd down and 4. A fumble on the snap. Iowa State says they have it. Let's see. And now North Dakota State saying they've recovered it. Still no sign. It is recovered by North Dakota State. 3rd down.
Well, Carson did a heads-up job there. The snap never quite got to his hands, and boy, that was a close one. The ball kept getting bumped further and further away, but he did a great job of wrestling it back. Could have been big trouble for North Dakota State there.
Wentz able to recover it. 3rd and 4 here for the Bison. Play clock is down to 1. And here is the flag for delay of game. Unless they've called the timeout first before the flag.
This is the first timeout called by North Dakota State of the first half.
The sideline saw it. 3rd and 4 coming up for North Dakota State, trailing 7-0 here in the first quarter. Welcome to Fox Sports 1 College Football, presented by Cree LED Bowl. First quarter here in Ames, 7-0 Iowa State leading North Dakota State. 3rd and 4 coming up here for the Bison. After a fumble on 2nd down on the snap exchange. Iowa State looking for a stop. Wentz in the shotgun. Wentz over the middle, incomplete, tipped. And now a late flag.
It was great pre-snap disguise there by Iowa State, and they had the deep middle field safety come down, and that ball was already away from the receiver. It looks like we're going to get a hit on a defenseless receiver.
Personal foul, targeting number 5 of the defense. By rule, number 5 is disqualified from the remainder of the game. This play is under review.
Kamari Cotton-Moya, who redshirted last year, now called for targeting. Let's take a look at this replay.
Well, anytime we get a hit to the head or neck area,
I don't know if this is going to
flag. And it sure looked like that head got buckled back, Justin, and don't know if it was helmet to helmet.
He was leading with his shoulder right there. I don't think he's going to be thrown out of this game.
It'll be interesting to see how the officials review this and what they determine. Obviously, Cotton-Moya, he's a freshman here, and that would be a big loss. He was already a young newcomer there in the secondary for the Cyclones.
You can see Paul Rhodes there on the sideline saying, hey, he went and led with his shoulder. The receiver was down. He led with his shoulder.
We'll take another look at it here, Justin, because this is going to be interesting to see how the referees call this. Cotton-Moya lowered his shoulder. We're going to see it from another angle here. And the official, what he saw was that body of that receiver get crumpled after that head was hit, after the head got pushed back. But to me, that looks like it could be shoulder to shoulder. So it's going to be really interesting to see if there's enough there to overturn this call, because it would be a big loss to lose your starting free safety here early in the game. Rhodes is really making his case here. Former defensive coordinator, knows that side of the ball well, has a good eye for this type of thing, and he's making his case to get this thing overturned. He needs that young Kamari Cotton-Moya back there in the safety position.
Again, this play is under review. The part that's being reviewed is whether or not Cotton-Moya will stay in this game.
You already have a defense, Justin, who is inexperienced right up through the middle. You know, it starts at the interior defensive line, the middle linebacker position, and then those two safeties in the middle of the field. There's not a lot of experience back there. Let's take another look at this, because as a former defensive back, I know how hard it is when you have that receiver coming at you in a moment's moment. The intention for me there, the intent was not a kill shot or anything like that. He even looked like he turned his shoulder a bit to try to keep his own head out of it. Tried to put his shoulder pad on the number 86 right there on the receiver's shoulder as well.
Let me ask you this, as a DB, as a safety, do you see that ball deflect, or do you just think he has it and you got to make that tackle?
Justin, it's real easy for us to sit up here in the booth and with slow-mo, but that thing happens in the blink of an eye. I mean, that ball is coming so fast out of Carson Wentz's hands. That's a big quarterback at 6'6", 230. That ball was coming fast. There's no way that Kamari Cotton-Moya would be able to pull off. He already made up his mind that he had to go and try to put a hit on the receiver who was going to have a catch.
A long review here by the officials because a big spot. Kamari Cotton-Moya flagged for targeting. So by rule, they have to review this play to see if he will in fact be ejected.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Wow. So Kamari Cotton-Moya is ejected.
That's a big loss for this secondary. They were already uncertain about how that back end would shape up, especially at the safety position. And now to have to go to your second free safety here early in the game against Carson Wentz in a West Coast style passing game, a lot of detail-oriented schemes to have to defend. You're now back to your backup free safety already here in Ames.
And don't forget, that was also on 3rd and 4. So it would have been an incomplete, would have been a punt, and now Paul Rhodes is furious down the sidelines, and frankly, I don't blame him. On first down, the first run of the game for John Crockett, and Crockett gets stuffed at the line. Well, let's see how this Iowa State defense responds to Kamari Cotton-Moya being ejected at the 10-11 mark of this first quarter for targeting. Wentz in the shotgun. Hands it off. And again, tackled this time for about a yard is Darius Anderson.
North Dakota State went with a two-back set and went with a jet sweep action. A heck of a lead block there, but great effort for the Cyclones. They're not happy about losing their free safety. They're playing with energy and enthusiasm now. You can hear the crowd getting behind them on a big third down opportunity to get off the field.
3rd and 9. Chase Morlock in the backfield. Wentz steps up, throws over the middle, completes the pass to Kevin Vaughn. T.J. Mutchison with a tackle, but a first down, a pickup of 14.
What a great job by the big hosses up front there for North Dakota State. We had a middle linebacker coming on a blitz, and you'll see a late blitz also by Drake Furch coming through. Heck of a job, giving him a bit of a pocket, and an excellent job by Carson Wentz stepping up, buying himself some time to hit the big first down conversion.
A big first down across midfield into Iowa State territory. Wentz swings it out to Vraw. And Vraw fights for position, gets up to the 46, picks up 3. Let's go back to LA for a game break about a game across the state.
Justin, thanks. Iowa trying to avoid the rude start FCS opponent Northern Iowa gave to Iowa State last season. LaShawn Daniels Jr. 13-yard touchdown for the sophomore, and the Hawkeyes off to a good start. They lead at 7-3. Justin, Corey, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. John Crockett picks up 2. It's a tackle by Kamari Sarai. Brings up 3rd down here for North Dakota State.
Coach Rhodes is still hot about losing his free safety, but what a job by his backup, Kamari Sarai, there, coming out of his quarter positions in the defensive secondary, coming up, laying a big hit on the big boy, John Crockett, for North Dakota State.
3rd and 5. They have to get to the 39-yard line for the 1st down. Crockett in the backfield. Play clock down to 4. Wentz just gets it off. Slings it to the sideline, caught by Zach Vraw for the 1st down. A 7-yard completion. Vraw, the go-to receiver last year for Brock Jensen, maybe the go-to guy this year for Wentz.
An excellent job by Zach Vraw getting his defensive back turned around. He was trying to play press bail coverage. Vraw, the experienced wily vet, got to his outside and came back, stopped on a dime, back to the ball for the 1st down. Great job by Vraw.
2 3rd down conversions on this drive for North Dakota State, plus that penalty, which was on 3rd down. On 1st, Wentz taking the shot. Incomplete, overthrows the intended receiver, his running back, John Crockett, out of the backfield.
Always a tough play to defend when you get a running back coming out of the backfield on a wheel route. Wentz had him there wide open. Crockett had a step on his defender or 2. Wentz put a little bit too much air on it. He wish he had that one back.
Why is that so tough to defend?
Well, because you don't see it very often, Justin. You don't get a guy, especially like Crockett, who hasn't shown on tape that he's going to turn it up on your sideline. They were going for a home run hit there. Iowa State got lucky they didn't connect.
Play clock down to 3. And off to Crockett. Crockett gets tripped up as he gets the 33-yard line. Sarai with a tackle, a pickup of 4 for Crockett. Sets up 3rd down and 6.
One thing you can count on with this North Dakota State offense, they will hit you. They're going to bring a fullback, match him up on a linebacker, sometimes on a DN. They're almost always going to pull an offensive lineman as well. They get a lot of bodies flying to the point of attack. You got to put your big boy pads on, buckle up to stop this power run game.
3rd and 6. Wentz. And the whistle has been blown. Flag in the backfield. Probably going to be a delay of game.
5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's a big penalty right there.
It is, Justin, and you have to remember this wasn't the first time that happened. Check out the play clock. Carson Wentz was telling his center, give me the ball. It's time. We got to go. We got to go. And he didn't get it off in time. That's the 2nd time here early. The Ames, Iowa crowd that came out, these Cyclone Nation, they're loud in here. Don't think that down on that field that's causing some communication issues between Wentz and his center.
I know it's early in the game as they get back to the line with 5 seconds on the play clock, but is this 2-down territory? They just get it off. Wentz, sacked, down by midfield. Robbie Garcia, a huge sack. Combining with Trent Taylor, a loss of 11.
Great job by Iowa State in the secondary there. It all started with excellent coverage. They were blanketed on their receivers. Talked to Wally Burnham, defensive coordinator, said, we're going to get after this new quarterback today. But you look at the job that Nigel Tribune did there on the go-to man for North Dakota State. Heck of a job coverage. Gave time for the big dogs up front to get home.
Jarvis West signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 13-yard line. Iowa State makes the stand on defense. They lead here in the 1st quarter, 7-0. 7-0 Iowa State leads North Dakota State. 1st quarter, 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go here. A big defensive stand by the Cyclones. And how about the 4 keys to the game, Coy?
Boy, North Dakota State, they cannot give up big plays against some playmakers like E.J. Bibbs and Wimberly there for Iowa State. They can break some tackles. Iowa State on defense, they need to buckle up, put on their big boy pads. Also the offense, they got to do the little things right.
On first down, it's Wimberly with the carry. No, it's kept by Richardson. What a fake, as Richardson was able to pick up just a yard. Colton Eagle with a tackle. And by the way, you saw on that graphic that Iowa State has to play without Kamari Cotton-Moyer, their starting free safety, who was ejected after the targeting call. So second down and 9. Richardson to pass. He completes the pass to P.J. Harris across the 20 up to the 21, picks up 5, brings up third down.
Good job by Richardson there of seeing that it was 2 high safeties. He had 5 defenders underneath sitting in their zones. P.J. Harris did a great job finding that open window, sitting it down, turning around, getting his hands up for Richardson to throw the strike.
3rd and 4, Devon McNeil in the backfield here for Iowa State. Richardson is going to run up the middle again, has the first down and slides at the 29.
This is where you're playing with fire when a guy like Richardson in the background. You see that the defensive backs did a heck of a job covering up their men. Nowhere for Richardson to go with the ball, but check out his eyes. He sees that. Last year he may have tried to throw a ball in there. This year he's getting the green light to take off and run whenever he can. That's the second time it hit North Dakota State for a big one.
1st and 10, the 29. Handoff. Nope, cuts again. What a fake. Richardson. Kyle Emanuel. I tell you what, that's twice now. He's faked me out.
Yeah, they've worked on this zone read quite a bit. Just watching tape of some of the things they've done here through the fall. They're going to stick that ball deep into the belly of the running back, and Richardson has the ability with his eyes on that end man on the line. If he thinks he can take it and get something, he has the green light to take it. Now, the offensive lineman and the running back, they're playing it as if that ball is going to the running back. Good job by Richardson, pulling it there. Big gain on first down.
Richardson with 32 yards on 4 carries so far. This time he does hand off to Neely with the cutback, picks up the first down. A 7-yard run by Devon Neely.
Check out the left guard on this play. It was a heck of a job, as you're going to see him pull around. Then he has basically becomes a fullback out of the backfield for his running back. But a heck of a job coming around, spying up the target, sealing off a nice run lane for the running back. Have another player down on the field here, Justin.
It looks like it's Tom Farniok, the starting center, the preseason first-team All-Big 12 member. Farniok, who battled injuries last year. We've already seen Quentin Bundridge go down, the star wide receiver for Iowa State. And now the training staff trying to get to the knee of Farniok.
Check out, here we go on this replay. This was a heck of a job, first of all, in the run game, but Farniok, when he went down, he caught that leg as he was passing by, and as big as that loss in the defensive secondary be, this would be devastating for this Cyclone offensive line. I mean, he is the heartbeat of that group up front. He's a team captain. This is a guy who is a preseason first-team Big 12 player. This is a guy they can't afford to lose in this game or in the season.
Paul Rhodes out to look at his senior center. 7-0 Iowa State leading back after this. We've already seen this scene once for Iowa State with Quentin Bundridge. Now we're seeing it with Tom Farniok on the sidelines. Jamison Locke is now the new center here for the Cyclones. On 1st and 10. Richardson. The escape to Neely. Neely with a nice catch down by his shoelaces. And brings up to the 46 to pick up 3. Colton Eagle with a tackle.
North Dakota State doing a great job of locking up their men when they're in man coverage. Richardson doesn't have many places to go with this football. They're making the smart move. Quick check down to his running back, who slipped out of the backfield.
Wimberly and Neely now in the backfield here for the Cyclones. Richardson swings it out to Neely again, and Neely is going to be dropped for a loss of 3. Kyle Emanuel read that one perfectly.
Great disguise that time. You're going to see at the top of your screen the defensive back who did a good job of holding his disguise to the last second. Richardson was lucky that he got that ball out quickly, but a heck of a job by the linebackers and defensive secondary for North Dakota State. The Bison are disguising well. They're covering well. Solid defense on this drive.
3rd and 10 as Wimberly goes out. E.J. Bibbs comes in, the tight end for Iowa State. Richardson setting up the screen, now just throws this one away. Wimberly looking for a flag. And there is no flag on the field.
Well, the fans wanted to call on Mike Hardy, the defensive end for North Dakota State, who snipped that out. He was all over this screen, and good thing, because had he not been, there was a lot of green grass, and Wimberly had a lot of big boys up in front to lead them down the field. Good job by Hardy.
And on that replay, you saw that, well, they had a reason to be upset. Colin Dunning on to punt. Dudzik with a fair catch, makes it at the 19-yard line. Tonight, college football returns to Fox as Cody Kessler and the 15th-ranked USC Trojans look to put a tumultuous week behind them as they take on upset-minded Fresno State. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. A tumultuous week for USC, that's probably putting it mildly.
They've had a lot of issues. They were just the way they like it until a couple of weeks ago. Nice and quiet. Things are moving smoothly for the new regime there. Past couple of weeks have been tough for the Trojans.
On 1st down, the handoff to King Frazier. A flag on the play as Frazier gets out to the 25. Kamari Sarai with the tackle.
Holding, number 76 of the offense. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
That's against Jesse Hines. 1 minute to play here in this first quarter. 7-0 Iowa State leading North Dakota State. Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire here from Jack Trice Stadium. The Bison riding a 24-game winning streak. 3-time national champs at the FCS level. Chase Morlock is now in at tailback. Wentz throws incomplete. Was looking for Kerry Woods.
Well, the defensive leader stepping up on this play. Corey Morrissey coming off the edge. I mean, this guy is a heck of a motor off the edge. He'll be a Big 12 conference contender here at the end of the season when all's said and done. But boy, as Wally Burnham, defensive coordinator, mentioned, he's going to test this new line. He's going to test the new starting quarterback. These guys are getting after it, forcing an errant throw there by North Dakota State.
2nd and 19. Hand off to Crockett. Trying to get to the outside. Crockett down the sideline and gets tripped up. A nice play by Jevin Miller. That saved a huge run, a 16-yard run by Crockett.
Well, North Dakota State is in their element. Again, when they run that power, they get the fullback leading up through and pull that backside guard. They come and they bring the hammer. Iowa State is getting it brought down upon them here. Big, long run to set up a 3rd 3 after what could have been a devastating drive for the Bison.
Well, they get the play off in time. This will be the end of the first quarter. 3rd and 3 is coming up for the Bison. The end of the first quarter, Iowa State. Welcome back to Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Cree LED Bulb. Start of the second quarter, 7-0 Iowa State leading North Dakota State. here at Jack Trice Stadium, a sold-out Jack Trice Stadium. And 3rd down and 3 is coming up here for North Dakota State. John Crockett in the backfield. John Crockett in the backfield here for the Bison. Carson Wentz taking over for Brock Jensen. Jensen graduated after last year. 3rd and 3. Wentz on the slant to Vraw, and it's incomplete.
Well, defensive back was far off in coverage, given a lot of space. He actually got out of there too quick, opened up the window even more, and a rare drop for Vraw. But Carson Wentz could have had it up a little bit higher, put it on his numbers. But again, Vraw doesn't drop passes like that normally. That's a big 3rd down stop there for Iowa State.
You can see Wentz on the sideline was kind of hobbling off. As now Lecomte on to punt with Jarvis West standing at his own 30. A good punt. West back to his own 25. Makes one move. Jarvis West trying to get outside, and West brings it all the way back towards midfield. They're going to mark him down at the 50-yard line. A 24-yard return by Jarvis West, but let's go back to Carson Wentz and the hit he took.
Off the backside, that looks ugly. I mean, he had his defender, Mitch Myers, was coming off the edge and fell into him after he got cut blocked by the back. Hope Carson Wentz is okay, but how about Jarvis West? Stop on a dime, give you 2 nickels. Made a couple guys miss on that play. An explosive play and great field position for Iowa State to start this drive.
Just in case, Derek McGinnis warming up on the sideline. Ball be at the 49 of Iowa State. On 1st down, Richardson over the middle, completes the pass to Lazard. All the way down to 3.
Wow, big Alan Lazard, 6'5", a true freshman. They love the way this guy looks out there in the corner. They brought the corner blitz, and once again, they had a safety matched up on the big, tall receiver. Never stood a chance, but what a throw by Sam Richardson. Put that thing on the money, and he brought the heat like lightning out of a bottle. But it was Lazard to cork it up there at the end of the play.
A 48-yard completion. 1st and goal from the 3. Wimberly with a move to the end zone, touchdown! A couple of big plays, one the punt return, then a 48-yard completion, and a 3-yard touchdown run by Aaron Wimberly.
Wow, Mark Mangino says if he sees something hitting, he'll go right back to it. What do you know? The last touchdown they scored was a zone off to the left side. He trusts the big boys up in front. 3 explosive plays to march down the field. Cyclones on the board again. They're rocking here today, Justin.
14-0 Iowa State. Just about a minute into the 2nd quarter, 14-0 Iowa State leads North Dakota State. A quick drive. 2 plays, 51 yards, took just 36 seconds. Big 30-yard pass completion to Alan Lazard. Cole Netton will kick off with Christian Dudzik back deep for the Bison. Short kick. Dudzik takes it at the 8. Dudzik gets hit at the 20. A good play right there by Jared Brackens. Time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Here's Greg Wolf.
Justin, thanks. Navy taking on number 5 Ohio State without Braxton Miller all season long, and Navy knocking on the door to Brandon Sanders. Gives the midshipman a 7-3 lead. Will be reviewed and upheld. Guys, back to you.
Well, I know Ohio State has some answers without Braxton Miller, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that score is not going to hold up for the rest of the day.
Well, Braxton Miller will be sorely missed, but you got to know that that system is still in place. Braxton Miller was an elite playmaker who can make extraordinary play out of the ordinary. Now they're just going to have to go back to working the system.
On first down, the handoff to Crockett. Up the middle, Crockett with a great cutback. Now it's a race. Crockett all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. An 80-yard touchdown run by John Crockett.
Wow, Justin, this is exactly what the Bison needed. They needed a little bit of life, and it was John Crockett to do the resurrection. We're going to check out this replay. The big boys up front opened up a heck of a play. I can't wait to show you this, Justin. That's some ball right there.
Adam Keller on for the extra point. Well, Iowa State had some explosive plays, but this just topped all those.
Well, they're going to see a counter row play. They're going to the weak side this time. The big fullback leading up in and the offside guard going. And then from there on, oh, my goodness, John Crockett made the defender look like Bambi on ice. And then he was off to the races, running like a scalded dog. This is what the Bison needed. They're going crazy in Fargo. And the 3,000-plus strong who are here are going wild, too, as well as breathed life back into the sideline. The guys down there, now they're feeling it.
Crockett put the move on Sam E. Richardson. And that was a heck of a cutback to take it 80 yards to the house, get the Bison on the board, 14-7. So we've played not even 2 minutes here in the second quarter, and each team has a touchdown. Ben LeCompte will kick off to Devondrick Neely and Jarvis West for Iowa State. A lot of players in the Missouri Valley Conference probably saying to Sammy Richardson, we know the feeling. It'll be a touchback here as Iowa State will get back on the field. Sam B. Richardson, who won that starting quarterback position in training camp. His head coach Paul Rhodes said by the second scrimmage, it wasn't even close. He was hands down our quarterback, our starting quarterback. And so far in this game, he has looked good. 7 of 9 for 80 yards. He's also rushed for 32.
He's taken well to this new system. A simplified scheme has helped him tremendously. Talked to Coach Paul Rhodes, and he said, Coy, Richardson knows this offense in months better than he knew the previous one in 2 years. Has a firm understanding early. He's looking good today.
A handoff to Devondrick Neely, and Neely gets dropped by a yard. So far this offense here for Iowa State, Richardson has taken advantage on some third down opportunities. Aaron Wimberly with a couple of touchdowns. In this, the big play to Alan Lazard, followed up by the second touchdown of the day for Wimberly. Second down and 11. Richardson towards the sideline to Harris. P.J. Harris gets pushed out of bounds. A pickup of 10. Christian Dudzik with the tackle.
Well, you're going to see a heck of a tackle from a defensive back. He had a lot of space there, had some room to work, but came flying like a heat-seeking missile to upend the receiver on that play. North Dakota State really playing with their disguises, showing blitz, coming off, playing back in zone, really mixing it up for Richardson.
On 3rd and 1, Richardson on the keeper trying to get the push. It looks like he's going to be close, but shy of the first down marker.
They tried to catch a quick one on the Bison defense there. That's straight out of the Tom Brady playbook. He loves to do it. He just walks up to the line nonchalantly, make it look like they're going to go through an ordinary cadence. They try to get you with a quick hit. As you can see, the linebackers were back deep 5 yards, but the Bison stand strong. Hold on a crucial 3rd and short.
And now Colin Downing is on to punt. That play clock is down to 3. And a timeout will be taken by Iowa State. The first timeout of the half here for Iowa State.
Well, the Bison are tough on third down, Justin. They led the nation last year. These guys really know how to play when the game's on the line, whether it's in the fourth quarter or in a big moment like that. These guys really step up to the challenge. They have a chip on their shoulder. Any opportunity they get to prove that they belong, that they can play ball, they're going to do it. And that's what you saw there. That was just the big boys up front getting low and getting strong, even though they're outweighed heavily there in the trenches.
You don't win 24 games in a row without having that chip on your shoulder and coming out and fighting. And this team, as we talked about against FBS schools, not afraid. They've won an FBS game each the last 4 years. Their last FBS loss actually came in 2009 here against Iowa State in Paul Rhodes' first game as the head coach. Downing to punt. A high punt, short. Dudzik with a fair catch. Makes it at the 33-yard line. A 33-yard punt by Downing. North Dakota State coming back out onto the field, trying to tie this one up. They trail 14-7. So the last play from scrimmage for North Dakota State was this, an 80-yard run by John Crockett. You see what they did their first 15 plays, and now they get back onto the field, trailing 14-7. Chase Morlock in the backfield here on first down. Handoff is to Morlock. And Morlock gets up to the 36-yard line, picks up 3.
Morlock's the guy that they can bring in relief of John Crockett. Needed a breather after that long run. He had surgery not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, cleaned up some meniscus. Was mostly a special teams player last year. But this guy averaged 5.6 yards every time he touched the ball. Good backup to Crockett here in this offense.
King Frazier now in the backfield on 2nd down and 7. The pass complete to the far side to Zach Fraud. Time for a game break. Let's check back in with Greg Wolf.
Thanks, Justin. Preseason number 7, UCLA in Charlottesville. Virginia quarterback Grayson Lambert hit as he throws. Ishmael Adams comes up with it. 20-yard return for a touchdown. Bruins lead at 7-3 in the second quarter. Guys, back to you.
Hey, Greg, try to contain your excitement back there, okay? 3rd down and 2. That pass was completed to Kerry Woods.
Big 3rd down here, Coach.
Crockett in at tailback. Handoff to Crockett, and Crockett looks like he got stuffed. Picks up just a yard.
Well, in the chess match between defensive coordinator Wally Burnham for Iowa State and offensive coordinator Tim Polasek on that 3rd down call, Burnham won. He showed 2 high safeties, then brought his safety down late, sent pressure right into the heart of the run play. Great job scouting, knowing where to send your troops.
LeCompte to West. West lets it go over his head, and this one's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. Second quarter here in Ames, Iowa. Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire. 14-7, Iowa State leading North Dakota State. And we had the questions coming in. How about this offense from Iowa State under Mangina? What would we see? So far, so good for the Cyclones.
Wow, you're seeing actually a simple offense. They're not doing a lot of different things, and you got to love that as a player because it just allows you to go out there and play hard, play fast. But this run game is a big difference this year. That zone's really hitting for Wimberley.
Iowa State takes over here. On first down, the handoff to Wimberley, and he got crunched Brian Schatz, a loss of 1.
Wow, Brian Schatz, like King Kong Bundy off the top rope. I mean, did a great job using his hands, fighting off a block and shedding, and then he just completely dump trucked the running back. Listen to this. I mean, if that's not WWE, I don't know what is, Kutch.
All right, that was the greatest reference I may have ever heard. On second down, they swing it out to P.J. Harris, and Harris picks up a couple yards. King Kong Bundy off the top ropes.
Oh, big boy, loving it, too. He's going to be dreaming about that hit tonight.
3rd and 9 coming up here. The defense is starting to step up in this game.
North Dakota State was first in the nation on 3rd down conversions last year. They're stout back there, Justin.
Richardson on 3rd and 9. Pressured. Gets out of the pocket. Looking to throw. Throws high. Incomplete. Looking for Dondre Daly. He had him open.
Boy, that time seemed like the Bison had just about everybody drop back into coverage. There was nowhere to go for Richardson with that football. Wide receivers were trying to stay alive, find a window to get open. But that wasn't happening. A great job by the Bison, standing strong on another 3rd down here. This defense, that detail-oriented, disciplined defense, coming up big again.
The first 3 and out for the Iowa State offense as Downing gets off a line drive booming punt. This one goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it out. It's going to be marked out at the 33-yard line. 14-7, Iowa State on top of North Dakota State.
Saturday. It's a great day for football again. It's a great day to fight on. It's a great day for victory. The marching bands, the fans, and the Cardinal and Gold. Yeah, Saturday is back.
They reinforced from where the kick.
This year, the Sun will have given some all-time record of more than $9 million in gifts in 2014. The Sun will have record uses special benefits and opportunities not available to general public. Also offers sports scholarships and improved facilities for the team to cheer for every day. Please get on in by joining the Sun Club today at 515-294, Pound 023.
First down and 10. Here for North Dakota State. There was a penalty on that punt, so it backs them up down to the 23-yard line. King Frazier in the backfield. Frazier on the carry, gets across the 25, picks up 2. 2nd down and 8 coming up here for the Bison.
This is the type of offense, Justin, where with 8 minutes and 40 seconds in the half, they can control that clock. They led the nation last year in time of possession. They lean on that power run game. Just a slow, steady drip of offensive ground and pound.
Crockett back in a tailback position. And off to Crockett. Another nice cut. Crockett tries the spin move, but he gets wrapped up by Nigel Tribune, picking up 6.
Great job there by Joe Haig, the only returning starter from last year. You'll watch him coming out around the edge and watch him get not 1 but 2 on that play to allow Crockett to get to the edge. And a big pickup on 2nd down. Now we're in a 3rd and 2, Justin. Big down for the Cyclones on defense.
Chase Morlock now in on 3rd and 2. Morlock up the middle. Morlock able to spin and fall forward for the 1st down.
Well, they came right back to that same play that we saw Crockett go down the field for 80 on. That inside counter row. Morlock did a good job being patient, letting the big dogs up front open up a hole, keep the chains moving.
Crockett with that 80-yard touchdown run, up over 100 yards on the day. Play action. Wentz rolling out. throws, and that pass is complete to Luke Albers. And Albers very close to that first down marker.
Well, this defense is a nightmare for a safety.
down.
That time in quarters coverage. Amari Sarai, he's read and run. He's seeing the coming off, firing off the ball, seeing those pulling line. And next thing you know, his tight end goes darting across the field the other way. Used to hate having to cover that one back in the day.
When you say quarters coverage, what are you looking at?
So there have guys locked up on the outside quarters, but the inside two quarters, those two safeties have to cover the inside two receivers. There was a tight end. That safety, the problem is he has to read run first in quarters coverage. Big problem there.
Wentz with some time, throws, and that pass is nearly picked off. Nigel Tribune had it in his hands.
Boy, Wentz had plenty of time to throw that ball. And, I mean, he threw that thing on a rope. It was just too hot to handle for the tight end Albers there coming out of the backfield. But look at that protection. Wentz fires it, goes off the outstretched arms of his tight end. That's an opportunity there that Nigel Tribune wishes he had back. He'd have been gone to the house.
The tip drill didn't work that time for Tribune. 2nd down and 10. Wentz throws. This time he does complete the pass to his other tight end, Kevin Vaudland. A 9-yard completion sets up 3rd and 1.
Big Javon Miller on the coverage that time. Wally Burnham brought a fire zone. He brought 2 defenders off the right side of his defense. That dropped Javon Miller back into coverage. He was late getting there. Big 3rd and 1 here.
Crockett the back. The quarterback, Wentz, keeps it, and he moves the chains for the 1st down. Well, this is what you talked about, Corey. You said this offense, they will keep it on the ground. They're going to take time off the clock. We've already taken 3 minutes on this drive.
Well, and this is where they're in their element. Those Bison getting that big hurt, and they just muddle you. And it's annoying as a defender. You have to be patient. You have to be disciplined. You get frustrated because they just keep hitting you in the same spot over and over, and they keep the chains moving. And then you get out of your gap one time, it's a home run like we saw there for Crockett for 80.
A reversal of fortunes here for the offenses in the 1st and 2nd quarter. Wentz with plenty of time again, taking the shot down the field. And that is hauled in by Vra, reaching for the end zone. He's going to be down at the 1.
What a play by Zach Vra. Again, the wily vet knows how to use his body. He does a great job of eating up the space, eating up the cushion. And again, you see him try to press outside, buy himself some time. The defensive back not able to get around that body by Vra. 6'2", 205 pounds out of Rosemont. Wentz put it up there on silver platter for him, and he brought it down home.
1st and goal from the 1. After the 44-yard completion. Crockett on the handoff. Crockett to the end zone. Touchdown. Second touchdown of the day for John Crockett.
Watch the patience of John Crockett here, the senior out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's got 2 lead blockers up in front of him, kind of tiptoes, and he knows at some point they're going to get that push, and all he needs is a little seam to reach out with an outstretched arm, get that ball across the plane.
Adam Keller on for the extra point. Zach Vra with a big catch. Crockett with a touchdown. Keller on to tie it up. And he does just that. Zach Vra, the senior, with the big play. 44-yard catch. He went up and got it. And then John Crockett able to punch it in from 1 yard out to tie this game up at 14 apiece. Well, we thought we'd have a close game. We do. It's all tied up at 14. North Dakota State, with that scoring drive, took over 4 minutes off the clock. 9 plays, 77 yards. And now Ben LeCompte on to kick off to Neely and West for Iowa State. Neely will take it at the 5. Neely gets tackled, wrapped up at the 19-yard line. 14-14, Iowa State and North Dakota State with 4:36 to go here in the first half. Iowa State jumped out to a 14-0 lead. North Dakota State has stormed back, scoring the last 14 points, and momentum certainly on the Bison's side as they have outgained Iowa State 166-11 since falling behind 14-0.
And a lot of it was that big run by John Crockett, the big 80-yarder, hitting right up in the middle of that defense for Iowa State, where they have some concerns in the middle.
Richardson in the shotgun. On first down, Richardson looking to pass. Out of the pocket, he's going to run. Richardson runs out of bounds. Very close to that first down marker. And he will have it.
Iowa State actually did a pretty darn good job protecting. North Dakota State tried to bluff with a blitz, but that's a long time for him to hold that ball. He knows to take off. He's up to over 40 yards rushing now.
Richardson now at 43 yards on the ground for the day. A little broken play there. Richardson just has to take it himself. Back to the line of scrimmage. It looked like he was looking for Wimberly, but Wimberly left to block.
We have another player down, but yeah, there was a little bit of miscommunication there between Richardson and what he wanted to do. I should say self-talk. He wanted to put that ball in, but then the last minute he pulled it out. He was standing there all alone.
The injured player, Mike Hardy, a senior to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, he gets up.
Boy, this is a guy who the coaching staff just raved about. Not just the coaching staff, his teammates as well. Has the respect of his team in the locker room. He's going to surprise some folks today. Let's hope he's okay. Shake that off and get back out on the field. They need him.
Second down and 10 here for the Cyclones. Devondrick Neely now in the backfield. Under 4 to go here in this first half. And we've got a flag. Looks like a false start here.
False start. Number 13 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Dondre Daly, a sophomore.
Well, you're going to see the receiver here. I mean, he's watching that defensive. That's Carlton Littlejohn just messing with him there. Showing, is he going to blitz? Is he not going to blitz? Now the receiver saying, am I the hot route? Am I not the hot route? He got confused there and jumped off sides.
So second down and 15. Richardson pumps, throws, and he gets it back to Daly, and Daly makes the catch. A 14-yard completion. Colton Hegel with the tackle.
Check out Richardson on this play. He's going to give you a nice hard pump, and then he's going to come off and fire it. North Dakota State was playing a 2 with a corner sinking back. He put it right in the honey hole, right where it needed to be.
A big 14-yard play. It sets up 3rd and 1. Running the option. Richardson keeps it, dives forward. And that is very close. It looks like he does have the first down.
Mark Mangino loves this option with his running quarterback and Neely behind him in short yardage situations like this. Down in the goal line, too. Richardson knew right there he was going to have a tough one, but he felt he could get it, and he did. Good job there by Richardson.
We've got a booth review coming up here, looking at the spot on the run by Sam Richardson.
They're going to take a look at it, Justin, but we'll take a look at it and see if the officials were on point with this one. He only needed to get a yard, which was going to be that white yard line there. It looked like his knee was still up as that ball crossed the first down marker. They're going to review it and check it out.
Well, this is a quick one.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
That's a good call.
If all reviews are that quick, I don't mind them.
That's right. Yeah, that was clearly a first down. Down to 2 minutes and 22 seconds here in the half. We're going to check out this 2-minute offense of Mark Mangino.
And this is big momentum-wise for Iowa State. If they can put some points on the board here before the end of this half. Devondrick Neely and Rob Standard in the backfield. Play action. Richardson taking a shot down the middle to Bibbs, and that is nearly picked off in a triple coverage. And there are a couple of Bison players who are down. Colton Heagle is down. Christian Dudzik is down.
It's a big collision there. Mangino tried to get tricky. He had 2 tight ends in the game. Tight, made it look like a power formation like they were going to run it. Then he sent his big tight end, E.J. Bibbs, running up the seam, and Richardson got lucky there where there was 3 defenders in the area. Had he looked outside to his second look, he had one running down the sideline. Richardson tried to force it there, try to make something happen.
Colton Heagle on the sideline. Christian Dudzik just now getting up.
Outstanding job by the Bison secondary, not being fooled. Again, they had a 2 tight end set, a fullback coming in motion like they were going to run power, ran the play action. That's that discipline. That's that attention to detail. What coaches showed them in meeting rooms, on film. Not being fooled by the play action pass.
Well, now Chris Gordon, Andrew Smith come in at the safety positions as both safeties run out, Dudzik and Heagle. 2nd and 10. Pressure coming. Richardson gets rid of it. Dropped by Aaron Wimberly. Pressure was coming off the edge for North Dakota State. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Boy, Matt Entz is not calling off the dogs, is he? Watch off the left side of your screen. He's bringing the heat. The lineman has to decide. 2 coming. Who do I take, coach? Richardson had to get the ball out quick. Catchable ball there by Wimberly, but it wasn't going anywhere. There was a fleet of Bison hawking him down. Big 3rd down here.
On 3rd and 10, a little shovel pass to Neely. Neely makes one man miss and has the first down. Big time play by Devondrick Neely.
Wow, off the shovel pass, Devondrick Neely was not going to be denied that first down marker. He takes the quick shovel underneath behind the line of scrimmage from his quarterback, Richardson. Check it out. Had a lot of space, and then mano a mano, I got you, buddy. I'm getting my first down. I'm keeping my boys moving the chains.
Richardson throws, that's tipped and intercepted. Back the other way. Christian Dudzik. And now a scrum on the field. A 27-yard return.
Boy, you're seeing the frustration start to set in. We're going to get a shot coming right out of the backfield here. Richardson tried to fire it, but I got a
Crockett spins, and he gets tackled. He's got the first down, tackled at the 3. Alton Meeks with a tackle.
We're going to watch the fullback on this play. A heck of a job staying alive, getting to the edge. Then the defender there for the free hitter puts him down on the ground, and then excellent second effort by John Crockett, hitting that circle button, the spin move on him to get a few extra tough yards to get inside the 5.
Jedry Sear with the block. First and goal from the 3. 15 seconds. The pass is incomplete. Trevor Gebhardt, the intended receiver. North Dakota State does have 2 timeouts remaining.
Oh, Kenneth Lynn did a great job of manning up, press there, did a good job of not getting back on his heels. That's a quick hit. Excellent job of getting a hand in there, knocking the ball away.
Second down and goal. You can see Dudzik keeping loose. Play clock is down to 4. And it looked like maybe a false start, potentially on the quarterback, Wentz. It's against the fullback, Jedry Sear. So with the timeouts, you got 2 for North Dakota State. Do you take a chance and run here with 11 seconds?
Well, you have 11 seconds left, Justin. I think, to me, you got to run something towards the sideline here, an out-cutting route. Try to hit a comeback where your receiver can step out of bounds. They like Kerry Woods. He's all alone out here on an island to Carson Wentz's left, if they want to take a shot.
Wentz, pressure, gets rid of it, throws, completes the pass. They need a timeout. They get the timeout. R.J. Urzendowski with the catch, the true freshman. A 6-yard.
R.J. Urzendowski's a true freshman that they really, really like. They were going to redshirt him, but they said, this guy can help us win now. Check him out. Selling the stick route, the pivot. Carson did a good job of getting it to him. If he had led him out, boy, that was going to be a touchdown, Justin.
3rd and goal coming up.
R.J. Urzendowski, a young guy that they really like.
5 seconds to go before halftime. Coming up at the half, J.T. Barrett's debut for Ohio State. They're in a tough one. UCLA against Virginia. And how about Penn State playing in Ireland in a thriller? It's going to be a field goal attempt here. Adam Keller on for a 19-yard field goal attempt. The Bison just want some points on the board. They've got flags.
Defense, offside, number 93, half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
Brandon Jensen called for the offsides.
Iowa State did a good job of holding strong there.
They're going to decline that penalty, are the Bison.
Gives them a little bit of a better angle there. When you're that close and those hashes are that wide, more distance is actually better.
So Keller from 19 yards out to get the Bison a 3-point lead going to the locker room. High snap, and the kick is good. Good job by the holder, Ben LeCompte, to get that one down in time. 17 unanswered points by the Bison as they will head into the locker room leading by 3, 17-14. Coming up next, it's your AT&T halftime show. Rob Stone, Dave Wannstedt, Petros Papadakis. Rob, take it away. Have some fun, guys. exciting first half of football here in Ames, Iowa. 17-14, North Dakota State on top of Iowa State as we get set to start the third quarter. Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire. And Coy, Iowa State jumped out to the 14-0 lead. Since then, it's been all North Dakota State, and really, it started with that 80-yard run by John Crockett.
That was the penultimate play right there. John Crockett taking it 80 yards to the house. They made one defensive back miss, and it was all Crockett from there. No one was going to catch him. Look, they've had 124 yards on 2 plays. That run and this big pass to Gra that got him all the way down to the 2. They've only had 127 yards on 30 other plays. So Iowa State is in this ball game clearly. They need to cut down on the explosive plays. They're going to come out. That was the coaching for it, I guarantee you.
Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Geico after we have this kick, which is not a good kick for Iowa State. Cole Netton has this one go out of bounds. And so it'll be good starting field position.
Bounds. The ball will be placed on the 35-yard line. First down.
Good starting field position here for North Dakota State as we look at these first half stats brought to you by Geico. And Coy, you mentioned some of these numbers, and the numbers were inflated because of a couple big plays for North Dakota State, but turnovers proved costly for Iowa State at the end of that first half. To start this third quarter, Chase Morlock in the backfield. And Morlock takes the handoff, bobbles it, and then gets hit by Kamari Sarai after a pickup of 5.
Now that's a hit for you. That's the backup free safety, Kamari Sarai. That came flying out of the defensive secondary. Talk about a flesh bomb. Boy, you could hear that hit from up here, and we're wearing headphones.
Well, Kamari Sarai is playing because Kamari Cotton-Moya was ejected early in that first quarter for targeting. John Crockett is in. Hand off to Crockett. And Crockett, that's the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5. This is the ejection we're talking about. In case you're just joining us, Kamari Cotton-Moya at 10-11 in the first quarter was called for targeting on a late hit against Jeff Illies. And you can see Paul Rhodes did not agree with it. We spoke with Mike Pereira during a break, and Mike said that if the call was not targeting to start with, it would be okay, but he couldn't reverse it because there was still shoulder to the helmet. Empty backfield here on 3rd and 5. Wentz fumbles it, able to pick it up. Throws, and that is incomplete for Crockett.
Wentz has had some trouble in this game with the center quarterback exchange. Snap there that hit him right where he needed to hit it. But he looked a little bit confused before that. Not sure what type of defense he was seeing. Lost his focus there before that one.
Ben LeCompte to punt. Jarvis West drops it. He looks like he may have jumped on it to recover. That was a close one there for Iowa State.
Now this is exactly the type of thing that cannot happen right now for Iowa State. It's what got them into trouble in the first place. Explosive plays from North Dakota State's offense, and then that turnover with the tipped pass interception from Richardson. Jarvis West got lucky there. North Dakota State would have kept some serious momentum to start this first half.
So here comes Iowa State's offense, led by Sam B. Richardson. Threw that one interception at the end of the first half. That led to 3 points for North Dakota State on first down. Richardson pressured, and Richardson goes down. Kyle Emanuel with a sack for a loss of 2.
Kyle Emanuel getting a great look, a one-on-one situation. The team captain, Mark Mangino, said this guy has a heck of a motor on him. You're going to get tremendous effort. Watch him working at the bottom of your screen there against a big tackle. He said that what I'm going to do, I'm going to go speed to power in this game. That time, you saw the power start to come out.
2nd down and 12. Pressure coming again. Richardson trying to get around the edge, and Richardson runs out of bounds. It looks like he has, well, he's right by that first down marker. Let's see.
Heck of a job by the running back here. Watch him giving his quarterback a shot. Picked up the blitzer. Great job. Put his face mask right up under the chin strap of the rusher. But Richardson once again hurting this Bison defense on the ground. That's what he can do. He can gun it and he can run it too.
A good spot for Iowa State. Looked like Richardson was just shy of that first down marker. Instead, it's first down and 10. Richardson. Do we have a flag? No flag. Looking for Alan Lazard. C.J. Smith there on the coverage of Lazard.
C.J. Smith is going to be their best corner guy. He can lock up anyone in the conference, says his teammate Zach Farah, who has to go against him often in practices. He said this guy's a shutdown corner.
Second and 10. Pass is swung out to P.J. Harris. Harris up to the 35-yard line, picks up 5. Time now for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Here's Greg Wolf.
Justin, thanks. Number 5 Ohio State trailed Navy after the first half. Defense picking them up here third quarter. Deron Lee picks up the fumble, goes 42 yards, and the Buckeyes back on top. They lead at 13-7. Back to you guys in Ames.
All right, thanks, Greg. So a close one there, a close one here, 17-14. Here on 3rd and 5. They swing it out to Wimberly. Wimberly, great open field tackle by Travis Beck.
Travis Beck just got his defense off the field. Watch the defense here. They've been showing this look often. They just fly to the football, guys. I mean, that is just all out, sacrificing the body, running sideline to sideline. He saved what would have been a big play there.
Colin Downing a punt. C.J. Smith is back deep, and he gets driven further. Takes it all the way back to the 14 with his momentum going backwards. But look at this. A flag comes flying in as Smith is making moves across midfield up to the 46-yard line. Will this one be coming back? It was a 51-yard punt, a 40-yard return, but I have a feeling it's coming back.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the receiving team, number 41. The penalty is half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
A lot of penalties on special teams for North Dakota State here in this game. But right now, the Bison lead the Cyclones 17-14 here in the third quarter. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with the Boys and Girls Club of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character, leadership, education, and more. For information, visit foxsportsupports.com. North Dakota State takes over from their own 7-yard line. On first down, the handoff to Crockett up the middle, and Crockett gets wrapped up by T.J. Mutcherson after a pickup of 5. And there's another player down for Iowa State. This is the middle linebacker, Alton Meeks. And this coaching staff has high hopes for Alton Meeks. This time it looks like it's just cramping. We've already seen a couple players go down for Iowa State, a couple of key players. In the first quarter, we saw Quentin Bundrich go down and Tom Farniak, the starting center.
There's Alton Meeks for you, sitting right in the middle of that defense. He tries to hit that run-through lane on the backside of that power. Alton Meeks is a guy they're really high on. This is a former high school quarterback. Talking to the defensive coordinator, Wally Burnham, he said, look, this guy's still learning the defense, but he's a big physical guy, a freshman who's going to blossom into something special here. State wrestling champ as well. in the state of Florida. This guy's tough as they come. He's man in the middle there. We got to hope he comes back for this Cyclone defense.
As a player, when you deal with cramps within the course of a game, I mean, he's walking out right now. Can you get rid of them? Can he drink enough to get back in and not have it re-cramp?
They're going to load him up with the electrolytes and the salts and try to retain some of that water that he's been drinking over there. I mean, this is hot down here. You know, Kutch, this is a hot day. These guys out here in a physical ball game, guys going all-out effort. And there's nothing like game pace of play. This is new to them for the first time this season.
2nd down and 5 here for the Bison. Play action. Pass the near side, and that one is pulled in by Zach Vraw, and Vraw has another 1st down.
The one thing about this Bison offensive scheme is it really gets you running to play that run. You get the pulling lineman, you swear it's going to be a run play. Next thing you know, Carson Wentz is pulling up and firing the ball down the field. It's tough on those linebackers and defensive backs.
King Frazier comes in now in the backfield. That was actually not a 1st down. It's 3rd and 1. Frazier on the carry, and Frazier will have the 1st down this time.
And it's no surprise that they attack the middle of that defense. The interior lineman is super thin. It's an inexperienced group up there. And then, of course, with Alton Meeks, their middle linebacker on the sideline, hit him where it hurts.
North Dakota State with a 3-point lead. Empty backfield here. Crockett splits out wide. The pass complete to Kevin Vaudland. And Vaudland picks up 9.
Great job that time by Vaudland, working away from the leverage. You see Alton Meeks right there on the sidelines. It does look like he's cramping up, and
he's drinking Gatorade.
Yes, he is. North Dakota State continuing to attack the middle of this defense, playing with those linebackers, and wouldn't be surprised they try to hit it up in there on a run on 2nd and 1 in the middle.
Wentz, play action again with some time. Now he's going to run. He's got the 1st down as he gets out of bounds at the 36-yard line to pick up 7.
You got another player down on the field. Looks like another cramp's about to hit, but check out the defensive secondary here. Good job coverage, working through to the spot route that Wentz wanted to go to. North Dakota State offensive coordinator Tim Polasek was trying to get a quick hit. He saw that as a waste down. 2nd and 1. If we don't get it here, we'll get it on the next one.
Brandon Jensen is a player down this time, as he now stands back up. But cramping could be an issue. 78 degrees at kickoff. That was around 11 a.m. Central Time. The sun is out right now. It is a humid day.
Got some rain last night, and you know when that sun beats down on that turf and then that heat, that water starts rising up, it can wreak havoc on the body.
1st down and 10 here for the Bison. Chase Morlock in the backfield. Hand off to Morlock, up the middle again, and Morlock gets a couple, tackled by Jared Brackens.
Jared Brackens is a guy out of Mesquite, Texas, a 6'1", 215-pound senior. He's playing a lot here now in this base defense with Alton Meeks sitting on the sideline. This guy started from them before, made a good tackle there.
2nd down and 7. Iowa State able to get back on. Oh, there is a flag, and the pass is complete to the near side of the field to Vraw.
Look, Wentz had a hard count there. Drew a defender across the line and tried to get back before the snap of the ball. May not have happened.
Offside, defense number 95 in the neutral zone at the snap. Foul will be declined. First down.
So a 13-yard completion of Raw. Another first down here for North Dakota State and doing what they do so well. Moving the ball down the field, taking time off the clock, shortening this game. Crockett. And Crockett gets wrapped up from behind, picks up 2.
Good job again by Jared Brackens. Coming like a banshee off the backside. He was unblocked. It was a long way for him to go, but he got on his horse and he got there. Iowa State subbing some guys in and out. This is a long drive. They're wanting to get some fresh bodies on the field, but North Dakota State just leaning on them.
Second down and 8. Wentz, the quarterback design run, hurdles a defender. Wentz down the sideline, gets tackled by Jared Brackens again, but Carson Wentz shows off his athleticism.
Watch this offensive line on the right side. Boy, call the insurance company. They dented that defensive line for Iowa State, and then Carson Wentz showing that athletic ability. Get up, big boy. 6'6", 230-pound junior. Boy, when you have an extra runner like that, that's tough to defend.
Empty backfield, throws across the middle of Vaughn. Vaughn lowers the shoulder, and he's down inside the 10, mark down at the 9. A 16-yard completion to the tight end, Kevin Vaughn.
Tight end did a great job. He's going to be on the inside here, the number 2 receiver. Offensive line did a great job picking up the slot, but those new linebackers in there, you can see some confusion. Again, they're attacking that middle of the field. With Alton Meeks on the sideline, Bodlin, great pickup there for the Bison.
First and goal from the 9. Wentz over the middle, tipped, and it's incomplete. And a flag comes in. The ball was tipped, though. Again, our referee is Rich Lumiere.
There is no foul on the play for defensive pass interference. The ball was tipped.
Jevin Miller coming through for his defense on that play. You'll see him right in the middle of your screen right there, eyeing up the prize, getting a hand on it. It was Nigel Tribune who was matched up in man-to-man coverage back there against Zach Vra. Those guys have been battling all day.
12th play of the drive, which started all the way back at the 8-yard line for the Bison. And another flag comes flying out.
Defense offside. Number 55 for making an abrupt action toward the line of scrimmage. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
That's against Jevin Miller.
Carson Wentz using one of the tools in his toolbox. That's a hard count. There's been a couple times where he's clapping, he's giving a hard firm count, getting those defensive linemen to get a jump start. Caught him again there.
Second and goal now from the 4. Wentz directing traffic. Wentz lost one up to the corner, and that's incomplete. Looking for R.J. Urzendowski, the true freshman. Third and goal coming up.
Boy, Wally Burnham playing with him there. Cut his guys disguising at the last minute, said, come off the edge, go get him. Put some pressure on Carson Wentz. But that's 2 times now that the Bison have trusted the young true freshman, R.J. Urzendowski, down in the red zone. They like what he can do down there out of a slot position, Justin.
Third and goal. This is a big, big play right now for the Iowa State defense. Can they force a field goal? Wentz dancing around. Wentz throws incomplete. Andrew Bonnet, the intended receiver, so 4th and goal coming up, and the Iowa State defense, it bends, but it doesn't break. Adam Keller will come on for his 2nd field goal attempt of the day.
Wally Burnham Cyclones did a great job with a 5-man rush, putting the heat on Wentz, making him flush out of the pocket. Defensive secondary left no place for him to go with the football. Big stop on 3rd down.
Keller for a 21-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is good, so he is 2 for 2 on the day. It is now 20 unanswered by the Bison as they lead 20-14. "14 plays, 88 yards. Took over 5 minutes for North Dakota State, resulted in a 21-yard field goal by Adam Keller. And while that was a great drive for them, good job by Iowa State's defense forcing a field goal, not allowing a touchdown. Ben LeCompte will kick off. Tavondrick Neely and Jarvis West are back for Iowa State. This goes in the end zone for a touchback. 6-point lead for the Bison over the Cyclones. Sam Richardson and the offense for Iowa State back on the field when we come back. Well, last year, week 1, North Dakota State went to Manhattan, Kansas, and taken on the defending Big 12 champion Kansas State Wildcats. They came back from a 14-point deficit, won 24-21, following an 8.5-minute, 18-play drive. And that's just continued a trend for these Bison of beating FBS schools, making it 4 straight years they have done so. And guess what? They trailed in this game by 14-0 earlier. On 1st down, handoff is to Wimberly, and Wimberly able to slip up, picks up 4 yards, sets up 2nd down and 6. So the 4 years in a row, here are the schools in the FBS that this North Dakota State team has knocked off.
Well, you know, this was epitomized by last season's come-from-behind victory over Kansas State. They were down 21-7 in that game, came back to take the lead with only 28 seconds left. They capped it off with an 80-yard drive, 18 plays, almost 9 minutes of the 4th quarter consumed by that. This is a never-say-die team.
2nd down and 6. Richardson forced out of the pocket. Richardson now running with it. Cuts it back and picks up the 1st down. Tackled by Kyle Emanuel, but just when it looks like he may slide or run out of bounds, he cuts it back and picks up 8.
Richardson's done a great job all with the football. Yes, he has 1 interception, but that was a tip pass. This guy's been solid through the air, and when the defense doesn't give him anything, he's taking that ball and running it on the ground.
62 yards for Richardson on the ground. That one is tipped and intercepted. Colton Hegel off the hands of Alan Lazard, and the 2nd interception of the day against Sam Richardson.
Well, Richardson saw a matchup he liked out there on the edge. He recognized the corner blitz. He tried to put the ball on the outside shoulder of Lazard, the young true freshman. He's going to get an earful about not getting 2 hands up for that ball. That turned into a huge play for the Bison.
The 2nd turnover of the day for Iowa State. First and 10 from Iowa State's 40 here for North Dakota State. Gonna take a shot quickly to the end zone here. Nope, they swing it out. It's Zach Vraw on the catch, and Vraw picks up 3. Iowa State got off to a great start. 2 touchdowns their first 3 drives. Since then, it's been ugly for Paul Rhodes and his crew.
Oh, Justin, how about them losing the heartbeat and central nervous system of their offensive line early in the game? Tom Farniok, they were averaging 7 yards a carry with him in the game. On the ground, now under 2.
2nd down and 7. Darius Anderson on the carry. And Anderson gets across the 35 up to the 34, tackled by T.J. Mutcherson. Picks up 3, but you mentioned Farniok. We talked about Quentin Muntridge, who is now with his uniform off on the sideline. Paul Rhodes said this is the healthiest he's had his team come through a camp in his time here, and now 2 of the stars go out in the 1st quarter.
And let's not forget about their free safety, their starter, Kamari Cotton-Moya, who was ejected from the game. They weren't happy about that call, but they're down 3 starters at 3 impact positions on this team.
3rd and 4. And the defense step up again. Wentz throws over the middle, complete, nice catch by Zach Fromm, making the adjustment. Picks up the 1st down on a 15-yard completion.
Off the left side of his screen, they brought the heat over there. You're going to see the defensive back come. The linebacker's going to come as well. Wentz knows that he's fine. I got enough guys to block it, stand tall in the pocket, and deliver the strike. That time to Zach Fromm. Boy, he's stepping up today, isn't he?
The senior, the leader last year. Wentz fakes a little screen pass, goes up the middle, and Wentz gets across the 15 down to the 13 to pick up 6.
Well, it's not often you see a quarterback lower the boom on a defender, but this is a guy that both the strength coach and his offensive coordinator says, Coy, I have to pull the reins back on this guy. In the weight room, he's trying to bench press the house. He's trying to squat 700 pounds. I have to pull the reins back. But this guy's a competitor, a fierce one, too.
2nd and 4. Wentz, the helmet has come off. The flag is thrown.
A lot of yellow flying around on that play, Justin. A flag, a helmet of an offensive lineman.
Jesse Hines had his helmet come off.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 99 of the defense. The penalty would be half the distance to the goal from where the play ended. Player 77 who lost his helmet can remain in the game. 1st down.
Center. Gonna watch the center of this defense here. Hands to the face. They're gonna call it every time they can. It's a big point of contention in the NFL as well. So much as a brush across the face or head of an offensive lineman or defensive lineman for that matter. It's getting penalized.
1st and goal now from the 3. Crockett in the backfield has 2 touchdowns today. Crockett with a handoff gets tripped up and will pick up a yard. Mitchell Myers comes up and able to trip up John Crockett.
It's a war down there in the trenches. These guys have been going toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano all game. You gotta love the fight that you see in there in the trenches, often overlooked. But against an offense like this, that's where the money's made.
2nd and goal. Crockett again. Crockett to the end zone, touchdown. Third touchdown of the day for the senior from Minneapolis.
John Crockett reaping the benefits of this offensive line. The overgrown people movers up front, just mashing the interior of that line. All game, John Crockett getting his season off started right.
Keller's extra point is good. 27 unanswered points by the Bison of North Dakota State. 3 touchdowns for John Crockett. You're watching Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Cree LED Bowl. John Crockett turned things around for North Dakota State with the 80-yard touchdown run in the first half. And since then, all he's done is score a couple of more touchdowns. Had another one in the first half that tied the game at 14. And now, just moments ago, picked up his third of the game. 27-14, North Dakota State leads Iowa State with 1:36 to go here in this third quarter. Ben LeCompte to kick off. Jarvis West, couple yards deep in the end zone, will take a knee. This North Dakota State Bison team has won 24 in a row, including 3 national championships. That is tied for the most ever in FCS history. Well, guess what? They may set a record here today.
We may see it happen, and as we mentioned in the open, these guys have beaten an FBS team in each of the last 4 seasons. Last year, there were 16 FCS schools to beat an FBS squad. That beat the previous record of 13. The Bison are rolling today.
On first down, handoff is to Aaron Wimberly. And Wimberly gets up to the 30, picks up 5. Tackled by Travis Beck, whose helmet came off. So Beck has to leave the field of play for one play. Second and 5 coming up for Iowa State. And Coy, I think it's pretty obvious they need something to happen here on offense in this drive. Richardson trying to set up the screen with D'Andre Daly, and that goes the wrong way. A loss of 6.
Mark Mangino's going back to his jailbreak screen, and what I mean by that, you're going to see the receivers on the inside go to block, and then the big linemen rolling out there to try to lead the way for the receiver. But North Dakota State has seen it one too many times. They sniffed it out there.
3rd and 11. Pressure coming. Richardson goes down. Sacked by Carlton Littlejohn.
Carlton Littlejohn is a guy who's big, strong, can run. He knows how to bring the heat from that linebacker position. He kept it tight to the offensive center. He knew that he was going to have a matchup there with the running back who was going to have to choose one. Great job of getting the athletic Richardson on the ground.
Iowa State's going to let this third quarter come to an end. Ten points in the quarter for North Dakota State. They lead 27-14. Fox Sports 1 College Football presented by Cree LED Bowl. Start of the fourth quarter, Colin Downing punts. Christian Dudzik, fair catch signal, and he makes it at the 36-yard line. Well, tomorrow, college football's opening weekend on Fox Sports 1 concludes as the SMU Mustangs try and upset Bryce Petty and the 10th-ranked Baylor Bears. As the Bears open up their new stadium, coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. And Coy, you have Baylor as one of your 4 playoff teams, is that right?
Oh, this offense is loaded. Bryce Petty, who can really sling the rock, and Antoine Goodley, one of my favorite receivers to watch. Reminds me of a young Anquan Bolden. He can do it all for that offense, but they only have 2 ranked teams on their schedule right now. They're going to have to come out and score a lot of points and make some noise out of the Big 12.
Wentz under center on first down, the handoff to King Frazier. And Frazier picks up a yard, tackled by Jevin Miller.
Jevin Miller's been quite active today. He started the last 6 games 2013, he had 44 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss. Senior out of Brooklyn, Iowa. He's been showing up today.
Chase Morlock down the backfield on 2nd down and 9. Hand off to Morlock. Good stiff arm. Bounces off one would-be tackler. Now gets stood up. Time for a game break. Let's check back in with Greg Wolf.
Well, it's been a struggle for number 5 Ohio State against Navy, but Braxton Miller's replacement, J.T. Barrett, hooks up with Devin Smith, 80-yard touchdown. Navy would later add a field goal, but the Buckeyes still lead it 20-17 in the 4th. Guys?
Wow, a really close one there between Ohio State and Navy. North Dakota State leads Iowa State, but these fans looking for a stop on 3rd and 7. Wentz trying to run for it. Tripped up. Where do they spot him down? He's got the first down.
Wentz was looking at an empty set. He had 3 receivers to his right. He was trying to work to the 2 receiver side at the bottom of the screen. But Iowa State did a decent job of taking away his initial throw. Carson Wentz saw an opportunity to keep the chains moving and took advantage.
Devin Miller tripped him up, but not in time. North Dakota State, they have scored on the last 4 possessions. A couple of touchdowns, a couple of field goals. Leading by 13. Handoff to Frazier up the middle. And Frazier gets up to the 46-yard line to pick up 7. A good run on 1st down, just beating down this defense of Iowa State.
He brought in an extra tight end on that play. They know now's the time where they can really impose their will, run the clock out with 12 minutes and 25 seconds here in the 4th quarter. Iowa State's going to have to buckle up the chin straps, play solid in the trenches, try to force a 3rd down turnover.
They got to make a stop. 2nd and 3. Rolling out. Wentz completes the pass to his fullback, Bonnet, who took a hit and kept on going.
Boy, Bonnet brought the wood at the end of the play there. This was a submarine boot where he came behind the line of scrimmage, snuck underneath, and the linebackers never saw him. They had to really get running to try to get there. But bringing the hammer, the 250-pound Bonnet on that play, playing physical. Saw the sideline erupt.
1st and 10. Play clock down to 2. Wentz completes the pass to Eric Perkins. T.J. Mutcherson on the tackle. A 5-yard pickup for Perkins. You know, we talked about Sam Richardson as a quarterback for Iowa State, but how about what Carson Wentz has done? As the starter this year, replacing really a legend in Brock Jensen, who was 47-5 as a starter. And here's Wentz coming in against an FBS school like Iowa State. And he's gone 18 of 27 for 204 yards. Crockett on the handoff. And Crockett gets tripped up by his own man, Jedry Sear. 3rd down coming up.
Tim Polasek doing a great job keeping Iowa State on their heels. In a moment when you think they just keep leaning on the run, he's throwing some passes in there. Here's a big 3rd down opportunity. They keep the chains moving here. They can seal the deal.
I got to be honest, I think we're in 2-down territory right now for North Dakota State. Up by 13, the ball's at the 34-yard line.
That would be the dagger in the heart, Justin, and you're right. You know, you have the big lead. You've shown success. You've been keeping the chains moving on 3rd down as it is.
And now a timeout is taken by North Dakota State. The Bison trying to make it 5 straight years of being an FBS school. They lead at 27-14. 10:07 to go here in this fourth quarter. And Iowa State trails North Dakota State 27-14. Paul Rhodes knew this game was not going to be easy. He said, we did not underestimate this team. Last year they came in unprepared against UNI. Not the case this time. They had some injuries early, but North Dakota State has been dominant in this second half. Crockett in the backfield on 3rd and 6. Play action. Wentz throws, and that is incomplete behind the intended receiver, the tight end, Luke Alberts.
Good job that time by the defensive secondary and the linebackers of seeing the play action, the rollout boot. That time, Amari Sarai on the tight end. A long way to cover him from all the way across the field, but he got the job done.
Ben LeCompte on to punt with Jarvis West at his own 10-yard line. Gonna take a delay of game, maybe. Just getting it off. West lets it go by him. And this is gonna be a touchback. A good effort. But Iowa State will hold the ball at the 20 when we come back. Tonight, the UFC returns to Fox Sports 1 for UFC 177 prelims, featuring a full slate of epic bouts, including middleweight matchup between Lorenz Larkin and Derek Brunson. The action starts tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Iowa State takes over at their own 20, trailing by 13. And look at what this North Dakota State team did last year. Shut out 13 of 15 opponents in the fourth quarter. So a tall task ahead for Iowa State. A 3-yard pickup by Aaron Wimberly. North Dakota State playing its first game under new head coach Chris Kleiman, who was a defensive coordinator the past 2 years. Spent 3 years as a DB coach. He replaces Craig Bohl, who left to go to Wyoming. 2nd down and 7. Richardson, pressured again, fumbles. Waiting to see who has it. And it's recovered. It looks
By the offense, 3rd down.
It is recovered by Iowa State, so 3rd down coming up.
Well, Chris Kleiman's defense has been outstanding here, disguising a lot of movement pre-snap. Sam Richardson didn't know what he was looking at there. Chris Kleiman was the defense coordinator for this team. His discipline and attention to detail is showing. They're getting stronger as the game goes on.
3rd and 11. Richardson with time throws, and that's going to be well short of the 1st down. Travis Beck there with a tackle, a pickup of just 5. And I don't think we can say this enough or stress this enough, but what has happened to the offense for Iowa State since they lost Tom Farniok, their center, it has been a completely different offense.
Well, and you have to credit North Dakota State's defense as well, but you're right, Justin. I mean, just from a pass protection standpoint, definitely in the run game. I mean, Wimberly has not made an appearance here since Farniok has gone out.
Dudzik driven back. And a good punt will go out of bounds at the 19-yard line. A 56-yard punt by Colin Downing brings us to a game break. Let's go back to L.A. and Greg Wolf.
Well, the UCLA defense had done all the scoring for the Bruins today until Brett Hundley says enough of that from 6 yards out. The keeper, UCLA, with the lead. Virginia just added a field goal. It's 28-20 in the 4th. Guys?
Coy, what do you make of all these close scores with UCLA and Virginia, Ohio State and Navy, and now we've got North Dakota State here? Is it just first week? I mean, why are we having such close games?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, certain teams will come out ready, rocking and rolling, but for the most part, I mean, there's a lot of issues that still need to be worked out. We've seen a lot of scenarios here today. Miscommunications, quarterback center exchanges, a lot of sloppy play in the opening week.
Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire here from Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. The Cyclones came into this game high hopes under new offensive coordinator Mark Mangino. And they got off to a good start, a couple touchdowns in their first 3 drives, but since then, nothing. They've lost Tom Farniok to an injury. They lost Quentin Bundridge, their top receiver, to an injury, but credit this North Dakota State team. They battled back from down 14-0. They've scored 27 unanswered. They're coming up on 400 total yards on the day of offense. And the handoff once again, it's to Crockett. Crockett's going to go all the way, but there is a flag down in the backfield. So give him some water, give him some Gatorade. He needs a break because this one's coming back. 79 yards by Crockett.
Holding, number 76 of the offense. The penalty will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Second down.
That's going to be Jesse there in the center of this offensive formation. A lot of new guys on the offensive line, and that time got some jersey, got some spin. But this North Dakota State offense, I mean, they're an offense that's built to last, that's built to go deep into the fourth quarter. This is a team last season that averaged almost 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. The big credit to Jim Kramer, the strength and conditioning coach there at North Dakota State. These guys are a well-conditioned bunch.
Second and 16 after the penalty. A handoff once again, this time to King Frazier. And Frazier picks up 15.
King Frazier is a guy who transferred from Nebraska at 5'11", 216 pounds. Only a sophomore. Could be seeing a lot of him in the green and yellow.
Jevin Miller, the player, down now for Iowa State. Miller, the senior out of Brooklyn, Iowa. I don't know if many people knew there was a Brooklyn, Iowa. There's a Manhattan, Kansas, a Brooklyn, Iowa. I didn't.
How about old Paul Rhodes? I mean, his team here made it out of camp fairly healthy. Felt very fortunate in that regard coming into this game, but today a lot of guys going down to an injury or a cramp. It's tough to see. I mean, they're out without their starting free safety. Alton Meeks went out of the game. Quentin Bundridge went out of the game. He came in this game with a lot of guys who could be difference makers and playmakers. Many of them aren't out there right now.
3rd and 1 here for North Dakota State, leading by 13, coming up on 6 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Crockett on 3rd and 1 has the first down. Move those chains. Keep the clock moving.
Time and time again, the same play over and over again in this drive. We're going to get a pulling lineman again, get the fullback leading up on the backer. Gosh, it's just like an ancient water torture. They just keep hitting you in the same spot over and over and over again. It wears on you as a defense.
It's certainly worn out this Iowa State defense. Hand off to Morlock. Morlock gets outside, has some blockers. Morlock down the sideline. Touchdown! Chase Morlock with a 66-yard touchdown run.
How could you not love this, Justin? Fullback on that play, set the tone, set the tempo right from the beginning. Cleared away for Morlock.
Adam Keller on for the extra point. And that's going to draw some flags. But that 66-yard run has sent many of these fans to the parking lot.
Offside, defense, number 98, half the distance to the goal.
What an outstanding run. This time they go to the weak side of the formation, but still to that right side for North Dakota State, and the fullback, great job to cut block, getting his man on the ground. Didn't stand a chance, and then you had the cavalry out front, leading the way for Chase Morlock. The guy last year as a true freshman got some playing time, averaged 5.6 yards a carry. He had a big one there.
34 unanswered points. It was an 80-yard touchdown run by John Crockett that changed momentum. It's the 66-yard touchdown run by Chase Morlock that put the nail in the coffin here for North Dakota State. Tonight, college football returns to Fox as Cody Kessler and the 15th-ranked USC Trojans look to put a tumultuous week behind them as they take on upset-minded Fresno State. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Fresno State will have to play with a new quarterback. The two Carr brothers, they're done. No more at Fresno State. Neely from inside the 5. And Neely able to return this one across the 25 out to the 27. Troy, how about the running game for North Dakota State? You knew they wanted to run the ball. They've run the ball effectively.
This is who they are. It's what they do. They have a plan and they stick to it. A lot of power game, pulling those big offensive linemen. They're going to keep hitting it, and they know eventually something's going to give. It wasn't them today.
263 rushing yards for North Dakota State on the day, averaging 6.9 yards per carry. Richardson over the middle, completes the pass to Neely, bounces off a couple defenders. A little pinball action up to the 36-yard line. Getting you up to speed on what's happened. North Dakota State, 34 unanswered points. That's basically all you need to know. Iowa State got off to a great start. 2 touchdowns their first 3 drives, but since then, nothing. 5 punts, a couple of interceptions. And that, of course, has been since they lost their starting center, Tom Farniok. Jarvis West picks up the first down. And don't forget, early in the first quarter, Iowa State lost their starting free safety, Kamari Cotton-Moya, because of a targeting penalty. They also lost to injury Quentin Bundridge, their leading receiver from last year. Tom Farniok, their starting center, as Richardson tries to shovel it away. And is there a whistle? There's no whistle. Running with the ball is Daly. And now they blow the whistle.
Number 20 was in the area. Second down.
So there you have it. Incomplete pass there by Richardson, trying for the shovel pass.
Well, you're going to see Devondrick Neely, who's sitting out in front of Richardson as he's looking downfield, knows he's about to get sacked, and he went to kind of just shovel it forward to him. Some of the fans here thinking it was a fumble, but forward pass fell incomplete.
Player down for North Dakota State is Christian Dudzik. Dudzik had that big interception towards the end of the first half that led to a field goal for North Dakota State, gave them the lead at the time, 17-14.
Oh, he's had a heck of a game. He's a commander out there in the secondary, along with Captain Colton Heagle. But this is a guy who's a former high school quarterback. He actually returned 2 punts for a touchdown last year. Incredibly athletic out of his safety position.
2nd down and 10. Nice move by Jarvis West to spin away from one defender. Up the 46-yard line, picks up 6.
Great open field tackle there. We talked about Iowa State having some playmakers on this team. Jarvis West is one of them, but you haven't seen much yards after contact for this Cyclone offense today.
On 3rd and 4, Richardson goes right back to West, picks up a 1st down and gets out of bounds. Well, now you're in, I mean, almost like a practice mode with your 2-minute drill, trying to prep for the rest of the season, right? You're not thinking it's 34-14 with 4:09 to go. I mean, do you think you can come back and win it?
Never say die, Justin. They're going to start airing it out here and see what happens. But North Dakota State just flying around the football field.
Richardson, a good job scrambling. Picks up a 1st down and gets out of bounds.
Iowa State's offense started out really well, looked good in this new system. Richardson was making great reads. You have to give credit to Matt Entz's defense, though. They were the difference. They're the ones who made adjustments and have completely suffocated this Iowa State offense.
Richardson gets tripped up, lost the football, but he was down. A loss of 1. Alex Hahn able to chase him down.
Extremely well coached. These defensive backs know when the quarterback scrambled, plaster to your coverage. Great hustle, great effort there.
Alex Hahn is a player down. With 3:30 to go here in this 4th quarter, North Dakota State looking for their 25th consecutive win. 3-time national champions at the FCS level. 24 wins. If they get this 25th, which it looks like they're going to get, that will set a new FCS record for consecutive wins. It'll make it 5 straight years they have beaten an FBS team, and you see how well the Bison fan base travels. I mean, when they've scored some touchdowns, you would have thought this was a home game for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bison faithful here today. They sold out of their 3,000 ticket alignment within 1 minute. Bison Nation knew they were going to be at this. They would not miss the opportunity to support their squad.
And also get an outdoor game. They play at the Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. Nice weather. They enjoy this. 2nd down and 11. Richardson over the middle. That was tipped. Time for a game break. Let's go back to Greg Wolf.
Sorry to you Iowa State fans hoping for an upset in Iowa City. Jake Ruddock finds Damon Powell. 12-yard touchdown. Still tight, but the Hawkeyes lead Northern Iowa 31-23 in the 4th. Guys?
I tell you what, a lot of people, especially the Hawkeye fans, they were scared of playing UNI. And rightfully so, a close game there. 3rd and 11. Richardson finds Neely. And Neely made one man miss, but gets hit from behind. Picks up 4, brings up 4th down. You got to go for it.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football down the field. North Dakota State, again, so well coached. This team is exactly where they need to be in every single coverage call.
On 4th and 7. Richardson rolling to his right, throws, and that is incomplete to Dondre Daly. A turnover on downs, and North Dakota State can start celebrating on the sideline. 34-14, the Bison looking to make it 25 straight wins. Back here in Ames, Iowa, it is 34-14, North Dakota State over Iowa State. And here is your Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff player of the game, No shock here. It is John Crockett tying his career high with 3 touchdowns and really changed the momentum of this game.
Oh, and that was the play there that really set the tone for their comeback. This guy's been running the rock hard. He's 2,300 plus yards in his career. He's already on pace to be top 5 all time despite splitting carries in this offense this year. He's the feature back, and he's a good one.
On first down, the handoff to King Frazier. Picks up 4. Coming up on 2.5 minutes to go here in this one. Today's game is being produced by Fran Morrison, directed by Scott Katz. The technical producer is Joe Stevens. The technical director is Bob Rossborough. The associate director is Bentley Elliott, and the broadcast associate is Jordan Wolf. Our statistician, Ed Svita, and our spotter, Rick Odioso. 34-14, Justin Kutcher alongside Coy Wire here from Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Boy, I'm not sure we can really call this an upset because of what North Dakota State has done in recent years, and especially what they have done in winning 24 in a row and making this 25 in a row. But it is an FCS school beating an FBS school. But if you're an FBS school, you do not want to see the Bison coming for you.
Oh, absolutely not. And they're talked about a lot of turnover here at the program. New head coach, but he's been there. Carson Wentz, the quarterback position, he's been in this system for years, patiently waiting his opportunity. He's looked outstanding today. You have difference makers like John Crockett and Zach Vrah out there on the edge. And, of course, that defense with only 6 returning starters, they still return 7 of their top 9 tacklers. This team is still a very good football team despite any amount of turnover.
The handoff again is to Frazier. Another first down. John Crockett, what a game for him. 25 straight wins, a new FCS record. And these fans certainly appreciate what they have witnessed.
What a way to start off a coaching career. Head coach Chris Kleiman has to be loving the way those young men came out and fought for him. And Bison Nation today representing Fargo well.
In victory formation. North Dakota State makes it 25 in a row, setting an FCS record. They beat Iowa State, and really remarkable when they were down 14 to score 34 unanswered. Their offense and defense both stepped up.
It was all about their will. They were, from the beginning, they never said, we're going to give up. They just kept fighting, stuck to their game plan. The offense was as sound and steady as they've been the past few years, but the defense today, Justin, to be able to shut out this Mark Mangino offense, outstanding football.
487 total yards for the Bison as they defeat Iowa State 34-14. Coming up after the break, we'll get you back out to Los Angeles with Chris Myers for Major League Baseball here on Fox Sports 1.